this session. Dr. Vishal Joshi, Associate Professor, Universal College of Medical Sciences, Nepal, is also there. And the moderator for this session is Professor Shishir Roy, Visiting Professor at National Institute of Advanced Studies, India. I will request Professor Shishir Roy also to please come on the stage and start the proceedings of this session, which is about the scientific research, healthcare, medicine, and sustainable living in the Buddha Dhamma. So I will request all of you, please put your hands together to welcome the eminent scholars, panelists in this session. And I will request Professor Shishir Roy, Visiting Professor at National Institute of Advanced Studies, India, to start the proceedings, please.
Namaste, good morning. It's a very chilly morning in Delhi, and I was thinking if I could learn Tuomo meditation so that I could avoid this cold. But I met some monks in Ladakh who are practicing Tuomo meditation, but I did not succeed. Okay. So, I can remember, Kalama Sutta by Buddha, where he said, don't believe in scriptures or some teachings or some saying unless you can understand yourself with your own consciousness. So, I am a scientist. My main field of interest is foundation of quantum theory and also neuroscience. So, from the scientific perspective, I tried to understand what is the relevance of Buddhist philosophy in modern science itself. And in one of the Life and Mind meeting in Dharamshala, His Holiness Dalai Lama said that if the results of modern science shows that some doctrine in Buddhist philosophy is wrong, we will accept that one. That kind of spirit he has shown, and really I was delighted. I was in that meeting. Now, the problem is the scientists mainly they are looking at the outer world, and in Indian wisdom, from different philosophical schools, they are looking the inner world. They say contemplative practices. But what is this contemplative practices consist of? This consists of not only chanting, japo, or not in meditation practice. And most of the meditation research around the world who are doing, according to our opinion, is not the right way. So, we need kind of insights from the traditional scholars in Buddhist philosophy, how to overcome these kind of shortcomings. So this is a challenge to modern science. And then Dr. Haldar, he was speaking on that they arrange a kind of meeting on artificial intelligence and Buddha Dhamma. In one of our recent meeting in Bangalore, we tried to understand this AI, artificial intelligence, and dharmic views from not only Buddhist side, from other philosophical school too. But we are facing the following issue. As you understand, this artificial intelligence is not ChatGPT, you ask questions and you will get answer. That way, it will obstruct or free thinking that we are facing. I mean, go to the schools, go to the colleges, they will type it, they will get the answer, so they will lose their thinking process. And to scientists like us, the issue is artificial intelligence is a kind of computational procedure or algorithmic procedure. Now, how the dharmic views can be included in this process of computation? We don't know. I mean, like all the algorithmic process or computation process so far developed in modern science based on European science mainly. I say, why European science? Because the famous physicist Max Born, who is the father of modern quantum theory, he told that the whole progress of modern physics, modern science, is based on European ideas, which is again based on Greek ideas. Now, in that way, whether the whole artificial intelligence or computational process can be built based on dharmic views. This is one of the toughest issues we are facing. If somebody is here, even working in that field, we'd be happy to talk to him. But we don't know the answer. Because the terminology, the methodology, the concepts we are using, they are not always equivalent to the concepts in modern science. And now many youngsters are there. I mean, even the bright young minds who are doing hardcore science in the country, not in the country, the world, they are asking why we will understand the Indic wisdom, especially Buddhist philosophy. Why especially I am telling? Because if you look at the research publications of contemplative practices all over the world, the most of the research papers are published based on Buddhist philosophy. If you ask me why, I don't know the answer. There may be many factors. So, they always ask, sir, I have many students working in different IITs and universities. They're asking that why we will spend our time, valuable time for this. Whether we can get some real insights from Indic wisdom or Buddhist philosophy itself. This is a very hard question. This is very, very difficult questions. Moreover, there are other issues which we discussed. We arranged 4 dialogues in India for the last 6 months on in the approach where Nalanda dialogues came up long before. We invited a panelist of 6 scientists, hardcore scientists, and 6 traditional scholars, including Buddhist scholars. So of course, in many cases, we don't understand each other's language. So we need to construct one lexicon, the technical terms which both of us don't understand, but we need to have a common technical term. And secondly, as I am saying, insights to the scientist from Buddhist philosophy. Other way, even the development of science itself, whether it can lead to development or evolutions of Buddhist philosophy. This is another area. Now today we have the panel of various people, and so let me ask the first speaker, Rinpoche, and he had changed the topic of his lecture to sustainability of Buddhism. Is it not? Yeah. No, because one of your, some person attached to you, he claimed to me before the lecture that Rinpoche had changed his title of the lectures. So, yeah, or wherever you feel convenient. Okay. Yeah, you should, or you can come here. Whichever you like.
Maybe I'll just sit here.
Okay.
You will soon find out that the organizers have made a mistake for choosing me for this panel. Because scientific research, 0 with me. Healthcare, not at all. And medicine. Sustainable living, I'm not the best inspiration for you. I really create a lot of havoc. Perhaps the only reason why I'm here is I'm considered a Buddhist. I look like one, I guess. I should say, I'm not really I don't know whether I'm a follower of the Buddha though. Definitely I'm patriotic towards Buddhism. Is that a good thing? From the Dharma point of view, probably not. As a Buddhist, as a follower of the Buddha, one is not supposed to be patriotic towards anything. But anyway, that's who I am. So I have to say, everything what I will say is going to be a little bit biased because I'm a patriotic Buddhist. For me, Buddhism encompasses everything. It's the epitome of scientific research. I believe that the teaching of the Buddha has been not challenged or disputed thus far, and I don't think anyone would for the years to come, centuries to come. Buddhism definitely is not a faith, it's not a blind belief. It is so not blind that actually Buddhism even deconstruct blind belief in reasoning and rationalism and logic. But Buddhism is pragmatic and it is very relevant, I believe, and is more relevant today than ever. Technique and the teachings that the Buddha have taught are so advanced for caregiving, especially caring for the mind. Actually, the Indians have been talking about mind for centuries, especially Buddhism. Long before so-called the modern world, progressive world, have paid any attention to mind, Buddhists have not only been caring for the mind, but actually Buddha really talked about what mind is. And regarding the mind, I believe that it is the quintessential teaching of the Buddha, and it has been like that for 2,500 years. For me, the teaching of the Buddha, such as the Four Noble Truths, even the one noble truth, such as the teachings on dukkha, just that alone has everything we need. For something so mundane, such as living free of stress, or good parenting, or living mindful, or dying mindfully, or sustainable living, and all the way to liberate ourselves from the wrath of time and space. Today, the world is dictated by ideologies that believe in duality, right and wrong, moral and immoral. And these people sell or impose their ideas of righteousness. They create ideas of evil. But imagine if we can begin to see the world not through the struggle of good and evil, like how Buddha taught. The world will be different. That's what I believe. Our theme is collective wisdom and united voice and mutual coexistence. But besides being a Buddhist, I'm also a pessimist. I'm a little bit skeptical about how much the Buddhists can really have impact. We Buddhists are so weak. We have been weak for centuries, for a long time. So I really fail to see how the Buddhists can actually, Buddhist voice will be heard and make any difference. According to the Pew Research Center, all major religion has experienced the growth past few decades. Only Buddhism is the one that has declined a lot. In India, the birthplace of Buddhism, less than 1% of the population is Buddhist. Of course, some of you will say, well, who cares, the quantity? Isn't philosophy important? Isn't the path important? Isn't the truth important? Yes, of course. But to make your voice heard, or to make an impact, just having an impressive, logical and scientific is not enough. Buddhism has to become creed, not just a theory. It should become a creed for a significant number of common people. It has to become lived set of principles. It has to become a habit, a tradition, not necessarily something that you articulate. Basically, Buddhism has to go beyond the casual, occasional interest. Only then, I believe, Buddhism can be meaningful. Of course, Buddhism is meaningful for individuals like myself. I'm talking about collectively. I was reading Prime Minister Modi's speech, and in it he said, this journey of India is not only about development, but also about change in mindset. He also said that no country can progress without self-confidence. I really aspire that this vision will materialize soon. And I think Buddhism can really help boost the Indian confidence more than anything. Modern Indians have rejected the idea of religion and have strangely forgotten that the bulk of Indian Dharma lies way behind the limits of English word religion. Modern Europeans, of course, have rejected their religion, and they have really good reasons. But I have a feeling that the Indians, in haste to follow their European models, might have thrown the baby out with the bathwater. Whenever we talk about theories, truth, or philosophy, there is a strange assumption that they should come from Europe or America. Indians are quite quick in quoting Europeans, but forget about quoting Indian thinkers, especially the Buddhist thinkers of the past and the present. The reckless pursuit of ideas like secularism and egalitarianism, if not disrespected, definitely marginalize so-called religion, including Buddhism. Modern people have grown so spellbound by the lofty ideas such as secularism that they have ceased to see any value in wisdom traditions that actually provide a sense of identity and dignity.
Excuse me, you have 2 minutes.
Okay, I'll finish very soon. As a result, Buddhism in India now amounts to little more than a quest for occasional recreation. I hope that gatherings like this will make Indians see not only that Buddhism is perhaps India's biggest soft power, but it actually is their best gift to the world. But more importantly, it's peerless India's wisdom heritage. Buddhism is peerless India's wisdom heritage for Indians themselves. Thank you.
Thank you, Rinpoche. I have small questions to you. When you say Buddha Dhamma, is it like the cosmic order or rhythm in Rig Veda? You know, there is a concept that always in each stage of creation, that order is being maintained, is preserved. So Dharma in Buddhist context, is it like laws of nature or what kind of thing?
Well, when we talk about order and chaos, already we are talking about the two kinds of distinctions. Buddhists have always been reluctant to talk about the distinctions. So I will have to be really careful answering you.
No, another concept is there like Indra's net, concept of Indra's net.
Right.
So, I mean, to maintaining the coherence of Indra's net, maybe dharma is necessary, or what is that?
Yes, I guess once you dream, and if it is a nightmare, I guess you will want to wake up, right?
Yeah. You know, in science, what they say, why you wake up, they say, I mean, this is from the experimental findings, that when you sleep, then our extracellular space in the brain filled with toxic materials.
Right.
And as soon as the toxic materials get out of, like washing machine, we woke up.
Right.
And we become fresh.
Right.
This is the scientific findings of neuroscientists in USA.
I don't know. I think I will have to agree with that. I think so.
Okay. Okay.
To the certain extent, but not too sure though.
Okay. Thank you once again. Maybe we can go
Thank
to
you.
that. Yeah. Our next speaker is, let me see. No. Dr. Jyoti Kakumanu. She is again a scientist and neuroscientist, and she worked in artificial intelligence also. Now I have a simple questions like.
Mainly is medicine and neuroscience, artificial intelligence, just an energy.
Okay, so even for that, our one of the main problem we are facing from scientific world, how Buddhist concept, or what kind of Buddhist concept are there in understanding medicine from Buddhist perspective? Because say up to this, I mean, I'm a physicist, we know that there is a concept of interconnectedness or mutual coexistence in quantum philosophy, but there is a lot of debate. So can you identify some kind of concepts in Buddhist paradigm which are used in what you say medicines or your research work? Yeah, please go ahead.
I have a PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah, you can go there.
I might require some 12 minutes. 12 minutes.
Yeah, okay.
12 to 15. But
Yeah,
I'll
12
try to.
Because you have limitation of time.
Yes, yes, sir. But
So she will present PowerPoint, and yeah, I request her to finish it within 12 to 15 minutes. No, you should.
maybe because sometimes if I have to move.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.